Hello guys, how we all doing? Hope you had all had a merry Christmas. I promised I'd do this stream, get back on the GBHL, which I'm planning to do a bit more of in 2019, definitely. But yeah, I thought I'd just do this to sort of stick my face back on the channel and say hi to you all. It's been a while. I've been doing a lot of stuff over on Top Table, as a lot of you will know. But Lord of the Rings and Hobbit is where my heart is, and GBHL is where it all started. And I do want to keep my fingers in the pie of the GBHL podcast. I've got a few things planned going forward. Yeah, so I just thought I'd do it. Who's in? Who's chatting? I'm going to see if I can get the chat up. Just bear with me a second. There we go. So yeah, give us a shout in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Tell me who's in, who's not in. We're struggling to see at the minute, which is great. Let's have a look. We want live chat. Just bear with me. I'm doing this from home, so I've not got the benefit of being in the studio like I normally am. There we are. Hey Billy, how you doing, pal? I don't think we've spoke before, so hello and welcome. Have you been on the channel before? And what are you painting? Hey Green Tree, good to have you in, mate. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that up here. That's better. Now I can see. So I thought I'd be doing, well, this is the first chance in the holidays that I've had to do any hobby really. I've done nothing. Which, to be fair, in a positive way, it's been nice not to have to think, oh, I've got to do this, I've got to do that, blah, 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 blah. So I've had a bit of a break, and now I'm sort of biting at the bit to get going again. So I thought I'd do some painting tonight. I am painting, well, I'm going to try and get these guys finished. Gandalf the White, and his little compadre, Pippin. And I'll be getting some more colours on these dudes, as well as okay, so painting these amazing miniatures. Who else has picked these up? And who else has painted? I know there's been a few that have already painted these guys up already on the GBHL Facebook page, which has been amazing, really inspirational, which has made me want to get them done. So you paint dwarves, Billy. Which ones you got? Iron Hills or your old school dwarves? Really interested to find out. Let's have a look. How do I get this up now? This is really weird doing this here and not at the studio. And I think I actually put the stream out first on Top Table by mistake, and I had loads of people from who don't even play the Hobbit who were messaging me going, "Oh, you're doing a live stream? You're doing a live stream?" And I was like, "No, I made a mistake. Sorry." Let's have a look. So we get rid of that, and then. So where are you from, Billy? Are you in the UK? And I don't recognise your name, Billy. I don't recognise your name. We've not spoke before. Are you new to the group? Are you new to the hobby? Give me some background, pal. What have you been up to, Green Tree, over the holidays? I've seen a couple of posts here and there on the Top Table group. What else have you been doing, pal? I'm just going to try and get this up, so bear with me a second. I don't recognise your name, Billy. Yeah. I don't recognise your name. Erebor mostly, and you're in Exeter. Nice one. Erebor dwarves are cool. Lewis Applin, who is now off on a cruise ship somewhere, who's from Manchester. He used to play a lot of Erebor dwarves, and he did quite well with them. He really mastered them. They're really good. Green Tree. I told my bird to get me the new Gandalf and Pippin for Christmas, but she bought me Gandalf and Fort and mounted. So I kicked her out, obviously. I hope you're joking. Green Tree. But yeah, it's a cool set. I really like it, and as you can see, I don't know how well it's going to come up on camera. That front bit of his cloak, let me see. I cut it away, can you see that? So there's normally a bit that comes round here and hides all the detail on the inner cloaks. And it's a separate bit that you stick on. So what I did, I left it off, And then obviously the edge is all really flat and square, and I just filed it down and smoothed it, and tried to blend it into the sculpt of the fabric, and it looks pretty good. So that's pretty cool. Do you know what? This is the thing. I knew this would happen. I'll get on camera, and I don't know where to start. I don't know what to paint. Let's have a look. Green Tree, have you got these as well? Hurin and Ingold. Where's my Ingold mini? That's a point. Oh, there he is. Got that many miniatures in front of me. Love, love, love this miniature. It's one of my favourites at the moment. I've got this image in my head. I've got a lot of Gondor already painted from years and years ago. And what I really like about the new Gondor stuff that's coming out is the yellow trim on the cloth, just around the edge. So I've kind of had this, call it a brainwave, call it what you want, to get all new Minister of Warriors, paint them all up fresh again, and just give them all the yellow trim so they all tie in with these new guys, because they just look awesome. So that's the plan. I'm really jealous from seeing, I'm playing against, in Throne of Skulls, Tom Thorpe's Gondor Force, which was amazing to look at on the table. So I'm really jealous. Oh, what a cool Gondor Force, because they are good, and they've got so many options now, it's crazy. Billy Higgins, I just bought some files today. Files? What do you mean files, pal? Am I having a brain fart, or have you mistyped something? I'm rocking my Game of Thrones mug today. So who else is in? Come on, say hi. I can see there's 15 of you guys in there now. Come and say hi to me. Make me feel loved at Christmas. Have you all had a chance to hobby over the holiday period, unlike myself, who's been uber busy with Christmas stuff and family stuff? Or have you had a break like me? Like I say, it's been nice. It has been nice to have a break from it. And normally I'm rushing around thinking I've got to get this done for the channel, I've got to get that done for the channel, I've got to get this army painted so I can do a bat rep. And it has been kind of nice just to sit back, relax, take stock, and with a fresh mind look forward into January. Brad Jimenez, how you doing, pal? Billy says the thing you said. Right, okay, so files. I thought you meant like, you know, like paper files that you put things in. I was thinking this guy's really organised if he's putting his army list in files. Files, right? Okay, I get you. Yeah. Where are you from, Brad? Or are you the Brad that we all know very well? Brad Jimenez. Doesn't ring a bell. Let us know where you're from, pal. What faction you're playing. What you're doing at the minute. And are you all sat painting at the moment? Probably doing more painting than I'm doing, because I'm sat here talking nonsense. I suppose I better do something, don't I? It's nice to get in front of a camera again, to be fair. I was a bit nervous, like, going live. Especially, I've not been on the GBHL for a long time. I think, when was the last time I was on a GBHL video? I think, was it a hobby vlog, I think it was. But it's got to be 4 months ago at least. You're from Florida. Welcome, my friend. Welcome. So, you obviously going to be part of the American League scene then, I take it. I had the pleasure of finally meeting Devin and playing him at Throne of Skulls, and he absolutely smashed me to pieces with his Sauron force, which was horrible to play against. But Devin's a lovely guy, and we had a lot of fun playing. It was great. Khazad-dûm is my army. Have to work on. So we've got a few dwarf players in. Khazad-dûm, yeah, dwarves are really cool. I think I've said this a few times before. In my whole Lord of the Rings / Hobbit sort of hobby life, I really dislike dwarves. When the Lord of the Rings stuff was out, I didn't collect any of it. I mean, obviously I'd like Gimli and stuff like that. Excuse me, but I never collected anything. I just didn't like the aesthetic, didn't jump out at me. And then the weird thing was, when the Iron Hills was released, which is a totally different aesthetic from the old stuff. They were so cool when they came out, and because we'd been waiting for them for so long, we weren't sure if they were going to be released, and then they were. I jumped in with Iron Hills with 2 feet, and just then my love for dwarves grew, and I've like slowly but surely started to build up, even from the old stuff that I didn't originally like. I really like it now, which is odd because I didn't like it, and now I like it. So I've got a pretty decent Keza Dunforce myself. Very tiny scene in South Florida. That's a shame. That's a shame. I mean, America's massive. This has been spoken about on the channel before. So you've got a lot of players, but because America's such a big place, you have to travel quite far to tournaments and to meet other players. We're quite lucky in that sense, especially where I am in Manchester. There's a lot of Manchester players, and then an hour's drive in any direction you want, and you're going to hit more players and more tournaments. We're really spoiled here, which is good. I think, barring Nottingham, where Warhammer World and Games Workshop's based, we're probably the next biggest area in the UK of players and collectors and hobbyists, which is cool. We kind of get spoilt with it, really. So who else have we got in, and who else is painting? If you've got stuff that you want to paint, if you give me a heads up in the chat, I'm pretty sure I can grab pictures from the Great British Hobbit League Facebook group and pop them up. I'm fairly confident I'll be able to do that even here. You want to go to Nova Open? Yeah, I really want to go to the Nova Open. Devin has sort of invited me on numerous occasions. James, Damien and Tom and Jamie have been lucky enough to go over, and I was very, very jealous. But I find it tough to get the time free, because it'd almost be a week for me off work. I have my own business, and it's tough to get time off. And then obviously there's speaking to the wife and getting permission to go away, going to America without her and the kids. That'd be the biggest hurdle for me. But yeah, I'd love to go one year. Hopefully I will. Hopefully I will. Who knows? You know, we'll win the lottery this year, something like that. Then I'll fly over, no problem. But Nova Open looks amazing, and it's always like a how can we put it? The standard of boards there is a very high quality one, which is what really appeals to me. Anyone in the UK who's been to any of my events knows that I really try to make the boards stand out and not just be, you know, your normal gaming mat with a few pieces of scatter terrain on, and all very similar. It's great to play on, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I just really like playing on boards that look like they're in Middle-earth, which is great, and Nova does that really, really well. You've got some good terrain builders there, and there's actually some of my terrain at the Nova Open, so keep your eye out for Bayon's house if you do get to go there next year, because I built that. That was one of mine, and I need to rebuild one for myself because now I don't have it. So yeah. So who else have we got in? There's 14 ears. Stop being shy. Come and say hello. What's the greatest tip you could give a beginner painter? Well, I'm a beginner painter. So yeah, don't take anything I say as gospel. But one thing that I would say, I'm all right. I'm not bad. I'm not bad. I'm far from up there with the best. But one thing, Billy, that I would say is don't try and run before you can walk, which is what I'd done for a good couple of years. I was going on YouTube, trying to learn how to wet blend and do this and do that and things, before I even had the basics mastered, which it ends up then getting confusing and getting frustrating because models are not turning out how you expect them to turn out, because you think, oh, I'll learn how to wet blend and then all my blends are going to be perfect, because they won't be, because you've not put the foundations of good base colours in first. So that's what I'd practice on first. Start at the beginning. So getting your your undercoat nice and even. Sounds stupid to say that, but it does make a big difference. And then your base colours. So blocking in your base colours. So if you've got a model that's got maybe a cloak and armour, getting that nice and neat, just a flat base colour. You know, a couple of thin coats. So it's a lovely, nice, even coverage. There's no transparency to it. And then going from there, once you nail that, move on to shading. Shading can be, excuse me, I do have a bit of a cough. Shading can be, I don't want to use the word easy because that's the wrong word to use, but you know, with washes and stuff now, you can get away with murder really with shading. Highlighting, I think, in my opinion, at the level that I'm at, is the highlighting is the thing that takes your model from being an okay paint job to a good paint job. The more time you put into your highlighting, I think that's what you need to do. We'll start off with your basic colours, blocking in your basic colours first, nail that, and then go on. And I think that's probably your best bet. Brad says, was looking into starting an EVE army. What do you think of Dol Guldur? Dol Guldur's are really cool. I've got a lot of Dol Guldur, and it's a cool army. Troop wise, your standard troops pretty sort of run of the mill, nothing special. But then you've got a few elites that you can whack in there, which is cool. It's the heroes that sort of are where you want to be at, and max out as much chaff as you can with your heroes, I think. But going forward, I mean, everything I think sort of tipped on its head with the new rules and stuff and the new profiles. There's a lot of stuff that is unchecked, unpracticed. When the new rules were released, a lot of things people were saying, oh, that's going to be really good, that's going to kill everything, that's going to do this. It turns out it wasn't so much. One example is the Avenger bolt thrower for Gondor. I think everyone thought it was going to be amazing and be broken, break the game, and it's just not. I played against it, and it was very easy to. In fact, I played against two of them. Again, I mentioned Tom Thorpe before. He had two in his army, and it was quite easy to negate them. It comes down to a lot of you have to roll well with them, and if someone else has got a siege weapon, which I had at the time, it kind of takes the edge off them. So I think there's still a lot of stuff out there. I think Dol Guldur's not been properly explored. There's still models to be released for it, so it's going to be good. Green Tree, huge part of the hobby for me is scenery and terrain. Likewise, Green Tree. I'm really missing my terrain building at the moment. I say at the moment, I've been doing bits. I can give you a couple of spoilers actually. Actually, this is a good sort of segue into another thing we can chat about. So, anyone who doesn't know, myself, Jay, and Andy from Blackjack Legacy YouTube channel, and a few others. So Luke's APS, Shadow and Flame are going to be a thing. There, we're doing an event in March, and it's not a competitive event. It's just a cool. Bring an army down that you love and want to play, and play in a tournament. It's got an SBG content, so there's an SBG event there. There's going to be a kill team event. Wow, it's Exodus. But you're just bringing armies down to play. So the point I'm trying to make is I've been working on more boards for that. So as well as the boards that a lot of you may have already seen that I've built for SBG and I've had at my other events, there's going to be some new ones which are cool. And to save me time, I've got some of these bits. So, you pick these up, which are pretty cool. I've got a few of them, which are going on a board, sticking with the dwarf theme, because everyone seems to like dwarves. These ones, I've got a few of those, which are, again, obviously I'm painting up. And on the Moria pillar kind of theme, got some different styled ones. You see those? So obviously I'm doing an Erebor board and a Moria board, or maybe two Moria boards, as well as other stuff. Can I show you the other stuff that I've got? No, I'm going to save it. I'm going to save that because I'm doing a video, you see. I've got a really dry throat. I'm doing a video which is a bit of a walkthrough of my board building escapades at the moment, so I don't want to spoil too much. Brad says, spoilers. Billy Higgins, do you think it's easier or harder to paint larger models like a cave troll? I think it's a different challenge. I think it's totally different. I wouldn't have said it was easier or harder. One tip I would say, don't be afraid of it. When painting bigger models, I use an airbrush, and it helps you cover more area quicker and get them blends. So you know, like on the cave troll, you've got like well, in the GW books, like they've got a pale belly and all like the soft skin parts, like in between, you know, on the side of the arms, backs of the legs, down the neck. It's softer, it's a lighter colour, and then as it gets to the back and the more exposed areas, it's like a darker grey blue kind of colour. Doing that with an airbrush, getting a blend from the blue to the beige is really easy, and it just means you can do it quick, so you can get your base colour down really quick, and then you can go in and do your shade and your highlight. So that makes it easier in that sense, but I wouldn't say one's easier than the other. It depends on the person painting and what they prefer to paint, I think. Neil Muir, welcome Neil. Do you think an Eastling Forest is competitive? Do you see them in tournaments? Yes, you do. Do I think they're competitive? How competitive a force is really depends on the player, I think. You put an Eastling Force in the hands of someone who's a good player and they'll do well with it. And I think the only way to become good with a force is to keep playing it. Easterlings have got some really good special rules now in the Heroes since the new book. I've not had a chance to play them. I've played against them, and even then I think when I played against them, it was in a doubles event, the lads who were playing them were a bit, so because they were new rules, were a bit rusty. Not rusty, that's wrong phrase, isn't it? A bit wet behind the ears. But I think they have the potential to be quite good. And I am actually... I'll just grab this. This is my Easterling army box. So there's 650 points of Easterlings in this box. That's what I've painted so far. I am going to get it painted. And I am going to use it at some point. I'm really looking forward to using them because they look cool more than anything. I tend to gamer stuff now that looks cool rather than is it competitive, but I think it can be competitive if you learn how to use it properly. So I hope that helps, pal. Joe Holzman, hey Joe, how you doing, mate? It's good to have you. How's life? Green Tree, those elbow pillars look spot on. Have you seen Luke's water effects on his latest video? No, but it's on my watch later list. I watch all of Luke's videos just because Luke's a cool guy anyway, and I really like his videos, and he comes across really well on camera. And we've met, we get on well, we've had a few pints, and he will be at the Top Table Legacy event in March. So if you follow Luke and you want to come and have a chat with him and sit, he's actually, it's unconfirmed yet, but the way I've been talking, I think it's 90% certain he's playing in the Hobbit SPG event, or should I say Middle Earth SPG, in March, which is going to be really cool. He's never played the game before. He's going for old school Ring Wraith list. He's just bought all the models, he's painting them up, and he's actually going to be, in fact I'm not going to tell you what he's doing, what he told me he's doing, because he might want to announce that on his own channel, so I'm not going to say that. Neil says, just got a bunch of pikes for my army. Yeah, pikes. I've got a lot of swordsmen which I'm going to convert to pikes. I don't think I'm going to have any swordsmen in my army. I think I'm going to have all pikes. That's personal preference. I tend to do that a lot with my armies. So all my orcs, I generally just give them spears and a shield rather than the hand weapons. I prefer it that way because they can all support each other. I've gone over this before, I'm not going to go over it again. That's just the way I like to play, and it's cool. Thomas Grange, hey, my name is Tom, just started playing Hobbit recently. Is it easier to paint the models before gluing them together? Hi Tom, thanks for watching, and it's good to have you in the hobby, pal. I think this is, again, comes down to personal preference. I personally tend to build them first. Really dry. I build them first, unless it's something really fiddly. So I've put my Theoden together from the Pelennor box set, and where he's holding his reins, that looks like it's going to be really awkward to get a paintbrush in the way it's been sculpted. So I've sculpted it all and left the arm with the reins, I think it is, off, and I've put that on a separate coat base, and I'll paint that separately and put it on. But generally I build my models first, but it is totally personal preference. It's just the way I've always done it. There's no reason why I do it, and that's it. I think one thing that I would be scared of doing them on the sprue is colour matches. So I remember when I was building my Smaug, someone said, "Oh, that's going to be a lot easier to do separate, and then glue it together." And I didn't take that advice, and I built it and painted it. And there was some awkward bits, but it was fine in the end. But I worried about it. So if I was painting, I don't know, maybe a leg separately, that when I stuck it to the body, that it wouldn't match. That's the only thing that I could think is a reason why you may have a problem with it. But I do and built, but other people are different. Green Tree just said he paints on the sprue. I think it's just what people are used to and how they've always done it. I've seen both. I don't think there's a benefit or negative to any. So yeah, I think while we were on the subject of events, has anyone got events booked in for early next year? Is there any events that you're specifically looking forward to? I mean, events in the GBHL calendar at the minute are doing immensely well. They're just like selling out left, right and centre. It's going to be harder and harder for people to get tickets to go to events, which is an awesome position to be in, unless you have an event on your doorstep that you didn't get a chance to get a ticket for. But yeah, it's a good thing. It just means they're going to get more and more events on the calendar, which is cool. I'm really liking the idea of the more casual events. So as well as the GBHL League events, which are kind of established and really well run, I think I'm going to try and get to more just standalone events, like what we're doing in March, just for the fun side of it, really. I think just having that. No event is going to be non-competitive. I'm going to throw that out there. No event you're going to go and nobody there is bothered whether they win or not. Some might be less than others bothered, but everyone, you'll try and play and you'll try and do your best. But I think if you're not playing against someone who's fighting for that top place in the league, it can be a little bit more relaxed and enjoyable. And I'm going to try and do that. I'm still going to go to the league events because they're all great, and the ones that I do regularly attend are good. I try and get to as many local as possible, so Stockport events, the doubles events. Ardacon is sold out this year. It was too sort of far ahead for me to get a ticket, but I will be attending. Like I did last year, I'll probably come down and spend the day there Saturday. That's sold out like an amazing amount of tickets. It's done so well this year, and it just seems to be growing every year, which is great because it's a really good banner for the hobby. So has anyone else got events booked in, and where are you going? Let's have a look. Thomas says, I think I'll give it a go once I've glued them. Yeah, just try both, mate. See what you think. What models is it that you're gluing together? That'd be interesting to know. Brad says, what type of basing do you use for your models? I've been using the spreadable earth texture from Vallejo. That's a good question, and it really depends. Pre me making videos and back reps as much as I do, I would spend a lot of time on my basing, or I'd use, I don't have any to hand, or do I? No, I don't have any to hand. I'd use Generation Shift. If you don't know what Generation Shift is, search it on Facebook. It's a good friend of mine, Matthew. He makes bases specifically for Lord of the Rings, but you can use them for anything, and they are amazing bases. But now that I'm at the stage where I've got to pump armies out to get them on camera and on back reps, I just do the normal sand, PVA and sand, put the odd bit of like a bit of tough, so it's just sand and PVA, and then I use the same recipe all the time. I put the texture on before I even undercoat the model, and then I use, what is it, I think I go scorch brown, then dry brush with Doombull brown, and then a dry brush with Ushabti bone, and then maybe a very light dry brush of pallid witch flesh over the top of that, and it's the same every time. All my bases that I've painted in the last 12 months look the same. Yeah, and I always do the base before I put the mini on. I've said this before, so I won't stick the mini to the base and then put the sand on. I'll put the sand on first, glue it, and then when it's set I then stick the mini on it, and that way it doesn't look like the feet are buried underneath the sand, like you get that sometimes and it doesn't look good. And another benefit of doing that is, if I did want to put them on a fancy base, it's quite easy just to pop them off and rebase them, which is cool. So that's how I base mine. But there's lots of different options out there. The textured paints that GW do are really good, really good. I've not used them much, but I've used them on a couple of Space Marines and they were alright. Dan Huckvale, hey Dan, how you doing, pal? Hope you had a good Christmas, mate. It's good to have you in. Just thought I'd do a little video on the GBHL. It's really odd seeing me on here. I hope you're well, and I hope to see you very soon at another tournament. When's your next tournament up north, Dan? Are you going to Stockport? Green Tree says, as someone who has never been to an event, I've got to say the more non-friendly, non-competitive event sounds better. Green Tree, come down in March, mate. I mean, you don't even have to set part in the event, just come down for the weekend. It'd be good to meet you, and if you want to take part in an event, it's just really, it's going to be really chilled, and there's some cool prizes as well. I've actually got, so I already announced this. This is one of the prizes at the Middle Earth part of the event, which is cool. And then I've not actually put this on the page yet. I'll do it later today. This is another one of the prizes, and the prize that's going to be for first prize is something very, very special. And like I say, it's non-competitive, so you've got a very good chance of winning. There's loads of spot prizes and stuff like that. It's just going to be a really good weekend. So that's what it. We won't want it to work. We don't know if it will, because we're not sure if people will go for that kind of weekend, like a multi-system, just sort of hang out, non-competitive gaming event. But if they do, I think they'll be pleasantly surprised, and if it does well, then we'll do it year on year, and hopefully it'll pick up and people will start taking the idea and running with it as well. Joe says, Desolation Stockport and Ardacon for me, and whatever small local events get organised. Yeah, I mean, Desolation Stockport, Ardacon in the north, like really well established, well run events. I think sort of Desolation Stockport, Ardacon, the one I run, Scouring, I'm trying to think of another northern or Manchester run event. Because we're in a bit of a lucky position, because we started off doing it when the league wasn't as busy as it is now. They've become well established and well known, and people kind of look out for them on the calendar, which is really nice. But they're always good events, and I'll probably see you there at them, Joe, as well, so that'll be good. Thomas says, well, I'm currently gluing Warg Riders and Isengard, and an Isengard Troll. Isengard's a really good force. I think Dan will be able to tell you how good they are. He's played Isengard quite a bit, and he's got a gorgeous Isengard army. Trying to work out how to do the white hand on the head. I think, who was it who did? Search on Shadow and Flames website, or go in the GBHL podcast, no, GBHL Facebook group, and in the search bar put in Kev Lawrence and search for his post. I'm sure he did a step-by-step for that. Hey Ben, how's it going, pal? Good to have you in. Talking to Ben earlier today, we are currently trying to sort out getting t-shirts for Team Manchester SBG players, which would be really cool and really nice, just to sort of represent each other and our little community that we've got going. So I'm looking forward to that. That'd be cool. Dan says, yeah, I'm at Stockport this year. Haven't been since it got a do-over, so it'll be good to see the changes. Yeah, I'll see you there, mate. Don't think I'll be playing. I think that might have sold out as well, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think I'll be playing, but I'll be down. Obviously, our studio's at the event, at the same Element Games, so it's in the same mill. So I'll be around. Might do some filming, get a few people in for interviews and stuff like that. That'd be cool. Isengard is still as good as ever, says Dan in the new edition. Have a look in the rule book for a great looking army. Yes, very, very true. Dan's army was represented in the rule book, which is massive. Well played, Dan. That's something that no one can ever take away from you, mate. And it is a really nice looking army. Really cool. And you are right, yeah, they're still very, very good. I still struggle with most things. Against Isengard, they're just hard to kill, basically. Green Tree says, are we going to see any crossover of any more GBHL members over onto top table? Maybe. I've not really seen, I mean, James I bump into now and again at the gaming hall. He's been really busy with his new gym. I think he's been doing some stuff for Star Wars. X-Wing it is, isn't it? X-Wing the game. For a local group. I think they've got a YouTube channel, Sith Takers, I think it is. So he's been filming. He's been doing that with his hobby time, and I think he's probably just been taking a little bit of a step back from Lord of the Rings. But now, no doubt, he'll step back into it at some point. A bit like myself, it's sort of his first love of gaming. So Jamie, I've not seen for a while. I bumped into him at SteamCon, but he's really busy. He works for Steamforged, so he's that's why you've not seen much of Jamie. He's just like really busy there, and probably when he finishes work, he doesn't really want to. I'm only assuming this. He doesn't want to sort of start getting into gaming and filming. He wants to, you know, when he's home, he doesn't want to think about gaming probably. Excuse me. Damien and Tom still doing the Plantier. They've been flying the flag, which is great. And Harry, I'm not just assuming Harry's busy. We speak now and again, but there's not really been any talk about getting together. So much happened in a short space of time. For all of us, it kind of just was a bit of a coincidence that we all just got busy at the same time. And then Top Table, I couldn't really do both. We were trying to get Top Table off the ground, and you know, SPG is one of the only systems that I know well, so that was my input to Top Table, and still is. So when I was doing content, I had to put it into Top Table really, because we wanted Top Table to become a success, which it's been doing great. Can't knock it. And we put money and time into it, so it was something that we did have to take precedence over everything else. But yeah, maybe you don't know. If we ever get any of the Southern lads up here, I'll grab hold of them and get them in the studio, no doubt. And yeah, I can speak to James or Jamie and Harry and see if we can get them on a back rep. That'd be cool. Matthew Prescott, evening evening Matthew, good to have you, pal. Billy Higgins, hey, is the Erebor Captain being discontinued? Oh, I don't know, let me check. Is it not on the website? Let's have a look. Excuse me looking online. I don't think it'll be discontinued. Let's have a look here now. Terrible. Oh, why has it done that? That's odd. Just click the Games Workshop link and it brought me to Element Games. Terrible. Yeah, it's not there. So, possibly. I didn't know. Joel's saying it's been OOP for years. I wasn't aware. I never really collected it. I think I have two already. That's the one with the weird pose where he's got an axe sort of up in one hand, right? I think it'll come back because most of the things they're getting revisited. So, I'd keep an eye out. Don't pay loads of money for it on eBay just yet. Joe says that's buy mine off eBay when I did my Erebor maybe 3 years ago. Is it the guy with the beard and he's holding like an axe up, or so? He's in a bit of a. Has he got two weapons? Is that the one? Am I thinking of the right one? Because there's the Erebor Captain and the Grimhouse Captain, and they're quite similar. I always get mixed up between the two. What, so out of production OOP? But I wouldn't, like I say, I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back at some point. We're seeing stuff that's been OOP for years and years, and it's coming back, which is good. Right, so what else have you guys been working on? what are you looking forward to using? I've still got these to paint as well. As I look at my desk, like more stuff jumps out of me that I've not finished. So I've got these two dudes, which I'm probably at the stage. I don't know how to get that. When I get out the picture, is that any clearer? I don't think it is it? Let me have a look. I'm probably at the stage now where maybe one, possibly two more stages of highlights, and they'll be finished, and I can get them off there. Anyone who is watching or watches the top table stuff we do will know that I've been painting other stuff other than Lord of the Rings. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. I'm painting up like Space Marines. I know Ben is as well. Ben's Space Marines look really cool. I've kind of found a system with them of getting them painted quite quick, which is what I want. But I don't really want to put a load of time into 40k. It's just a game that I want to play. So I want to get paint on them quick and get them used. So who else is going to events? I should be painting now, and I'm not. I'm just sat here chatting, but it's all good. Who else is going to events? Or who else is going to Desolation? Because we'll have to sort something out for the Saturday night. Have some fun and games on the Saturday night. That'll be a laugh. Billy says I got some Warriors of Erebor. I've been sitting on my desk for like 2 months. I need to paint them. 2 months. That's nothing. I've got models here that have been on my desk for probably a year. In fact, I can show you one of them now. So I stripped these guys. Stuck his shield on with blue tack so it doesn't get lost. But I stripped 12 of these, which I got off eBay, and I think it was around January last year. I'm pretty sure it was. And they've been sat there untouched. What else have I got to hand? Just the amount of stuff that I've got like that's unfinished is a joke. I've got down here, I have little boxes everywhere. So I'll just grab 2, but I've got 6. Rohan Rogard on foot. Got 6 of them to get done. I have got these to finish. They're nearly there, because I painted all my new knights. So I've got to paint up the. They're nearly finished to be honest. I've got to finish the mounted version, shields and stuff. So like I say, I have boxes and boxes of stuff all over the place. It's crazy. Green Tree says I saw Luke of Luke's APS painting at D&D Owlbear a while ago, so got one delivered the other day just because I thought it looked awesome. What is that? Oh right, okay, you seen him painting it, and then you got one. So you painted that, cool. Got loads of stuff unfinished to save, mate. One more spoiler for one of my boards for the Top Table Legacy event. Can you see that? So that is going to be going on one of the boards. Can you see what it is? That's quite cool. I couldn't resist when I seen it. And this is going to have a light inside. I don't know if I've got a light, let me see. I can use my phone. It might not work this, but it's going to have a light inside, which... yeah, it doesn't really work because it's not painted. But when it's painted, everything's going to be blacked out, barring the inscriptions on the door. And obviously that's the doorway into Moria. So that's going to be cool. I'm looking forward to doing that. That's going to be really good. What terrain, Green Tree? Are you working on terrain at the minute? I know you said you like doing terrain. What's next on your list? What are you going to be painting? Where did I get it? Aha! That would be telling. Now I've got a pal who's got a 3D printer and does the odd bits and bobs for me. What's he done for me? So he's done that. I can't say too much because it gives it away and it's going to ruin the video then when I release the video. There's a few more bits which are quite well known from the movies, and I only used to watch Top Table channel a long time ago, or even GBHL channel a long time ago with me on it. be building a board and it would take me months to build a board because I'd spend so much time on certain aspects of the board that make it stand out as a Middle-earth board. So when I did Prancing Pony itself took me weeks to complete. Whereas knowing someone who has a 3D printer, what that means now is that I can get items like that built. Not a Prancing Pony, that's too much, but stuff like that, which is quite simple, and maybe a little raft. If that gives away another board, then it gives it away. A little raft and a little house and a little jetty. It just means that I don't have to put that much time into them, and I can be sort of filling the rest of the board with normal terrain that you don't normally take much notice of, but make the board look how it looks, sort of finishes it off. So it means that I can build more boards quicker, and they're more sturdy as well, which is cool. A lot of handmade stuff using balsa wood and things like that was getting broken at tournaments, which is fine. You know, it happens. Things get broken, things get knocked, but you can't blame people for that. If I put a table down and say, yeah, playing it, and someone breaks something on it, it's not their fault, it's mine, because I know how fragile it is. So getting stuff 3D printed, it is a little bit more sturdy, which is really handy. Green Trick, where did you get that? Need it. Brad says, where did you get the large Moria pillar, or did you make it? So, the pillars I made, not the Erebor one. I got that off a ladder, and I'll put a link later in, or PM me later, and I'll tell you where I got them from. The big Moria one I built and then sent away, and it got scanned and got 3D printed. Because again, it's just that thing of time. Because to build a board of Moria or Erebor, you need anything up to 8, 10, 12 pillars, and the amount of time it takes to make each one individually, it's just silly. You're better off just making one and getting it scanned and printed. Or a way that I did try doing them was I made a silicone mould for one of them one time, and I was going to make them in plaster of Paris, which worked to an extent, but then plaster of Paris isn't very hard wearing, and it gets chipped and gets a bit horrible, and it can be quite expensive actually. So yeah, it's just easier to get 3D printed. Green Tree says, are these boards going to be used at Top Table event? They certainly are. They're going to be used. Anything I make will be used. I don't make things for just sort of personal going on a shelf and staying there. If I make something, I want it to be gamed, I don't want it to be used. So it will be used in bat reps. It will be used at any of my events. And Top Table Legacy is one of the Middle-earth SPG part of Top Table Legacy is basically going to be a mini Scouring of Cheshire. So if you've been to Scouring of Cheshire and you've seen my boards and you've seen my terrain, then expect that at Top Table Legacy on the Middle-earth part, because that's what's going to be there. And it's just cool. People really enjoy it, and it really the fun thing for me is watching some people who bring certain things that on a flat table where there's sort of minor terrain can just dominate the board and pick their opponent off dead easy, but then put them on a board like a Lake Town board that's just all like little plank walkways and things like that, and it scuppers what they can do or where they can go, and it just sort of levels the playing field for someone who's just got maybe a Lake Town army against Smaug. Smaug can't get everywhere, and it's a lot of fun, and it adds another sort of dimension to your planning of what army to take and how you're going to play it, which is cool. So yeah, Green Tree, give us a shout, and I'll put you in touch with the fella who done my Moria Gate thing. I'm sure he'll hook you up. So yeah, has anyone, let me have a look on the Facebook group. Has anyone been posting anything on the Facebook group of late? I think it's really slow. I'm assuming it's because I'm streaming. Did everyone get hobby stuff? That's the thing. Did everyone sort of want and ask for hobby stuff for Christmas? I got nothing hobby related for Christmas. Didn't ask for it. there's nothing really that I want. I mean, I'll tell you what I do want. I want that Armoured Azog and Thorin, but it's not out yet. So I didn't ask for anything. Green Tree, you don't have Facebook. Come on, mate. Green Tree, I'm going to set you up a Facebook account and just send you the login details, just so you can check Facebook out. Right, let's have a look. There's so many notifications. Let's have a look. Billy says, what do you think about the new rules? I've just started, so won't be a change for me. I think the new rules are great, Billy. I think the game generally has been a great game for years, since the incarnation of The Hobbit. I mean, from the beginning. Then The Hobbit came out, introduced a few things which made the game a bit more interesting, like brittle power attacks and things like that. There was a few FAQs, but there was still some stuff that were a little bit OP, so you probably weren't aware that if you had a monster, Billy, you could charge into a normal warrior, and your hurl special rule, it didn't have to be a straight line through the centre of bases, so you could charge into a warrior at the end of a line and hurl him 90 degrees to your right or to your left, or in any direction. And it was just so powerful. Kind of broke the game. Whereas you can't do that now, so it's great. But it's also brought in so many new profiles, new ways of using the old rules like hurl, which have made it feel all brand new, and it's like a new game. So it's great. I'm really happy with the new rule set. Really happy with the new profiles. Nothing seems broken. There's a few things that are very powerful, but again, like I said at the beginning of the stream, I think you've got to know what you're doing with them for them to be powerful. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to exploring all the different factions. I play a lot of factions, obviously, filming bat reps and stuff like that, so I don't really get a chance to master one, but I have a lot of fun playing in all different factions. Brad says, just got some brushes and malign sorcery for AOS. What brushes did you get, Brad? I got some brushes for Christmas, so I am lying saying I didn't get any hobby stuff, but I got them before Christmas. It was a gift from my partner in crime, Jay from Top Table. Helped me out and got me some nice new brushes, which will be appearing on the channel very, very soon. Sam Parker, hey Sam, how you doing, pal? Is the GBHL channel going to be coming back with some bat reps? I want to say yes. I'm definitely not going to say no, because A, I don't know what the other hosts have got lined up, and B, I still want to be doing some more GBHL content. The problem that I've got at the minute, which might ease off going into sort of February time, because I have a little bit more time in my business around that time, is if I get spare time and it's I'm using that time for YouTube-esque stuff, then obviously I'm going to try and put that into Top Table. But if I get to the point where I've got some stuff in the bank for Top Table, then yes, I have no problem filming bat reps for the GBHL. I don't know how busy the other hosts are and whether they have any plans to do so. I mean, I'm sure if one of the other hosts wanted to hook up and film a bat rep, if I had the time, then yeah, I'd do it. It's just a time thing. The GBHL podcast, this channel, is not going anywhere. You were spoilt rotten for a good 2 years with content, regular content, and a lot of hosts doing a lot of stuff. And then, like I said before, a lot of stuff happened all at once, and we all just got really, really busy. And that's why you've not seen a lot of stuff on the GBHL. But when that happened, a lot of other channels kind of picked up the flag and ran with it. So you've got STF, you've got the Canadians. I've got, I think it's two YouTube channels which are doing really cool content. Top Table, you know, I was doing a lot of stuff on Top Table, and still am doing a lot of stuff on Top Table. So yeah, I think we've probably got more content than we ever had when GBHL was the only one. But yeah, don't worry, GBHL is going nowhere. I know as a collective group, none of us have even spoke about it maybe not being a thing anymore. If anything, it's just that we're so busy, and we will free some time up in the future and get some stuff done. So don't worry about that. Joe says, same as you, Steve. The only thing on my list for immediate purchase at the minute is Azog and Thorin. So I've just got money into the hobby stuff. Yeah, I can't wait for that to be released. I've got a feeling it's going to be probably the first release. So it's Friday. Is it Friday today? I've lost track of my days. Is it Friday today? It's Friday today. So I think we might get maybe pre-orders going up possibly within a week to 10 days. Maybe by next Friday, or we might get a sneaky pre-release for New Year's Day, New Year's Eve, something like that. I'm hoping. This is just me hoping. I don't know anything, by the way. I'm just hoping because I need those models in my life, and I've got to get 2. I'm not going to buy 2 straight off the bat. I'm going to get 1 first, paint it, and then I do need to get another set so I can convert them to both to be mounted because the models are gorgeous. I can't wait to get them. Brad says, Redgrass Games, I have their wet palette as well. Yes. Me too. It's a great bit of kit. And we gave one away over on Top Table. Keep mentioning Top Table. We gave one away a couple of weeks ago on Top Table, and the winner is in the chat as we speak. If Jay has not sent it to you, I'll make sure it gets sent to you in the next few days. It's just been mad leading up to Christmas. But yeah, they are a great bit of kit. Some people are saying, oh, I don't need a wet palette, I don't need this. Again, it's personal preference. I didn't think I needed a wet palette, and I got one, and now I wouldn't not have one. You don't need it to paint well, but it helps. I think it helps me anyway. It is really, really good. Green Tree, top of my list at the minute is Gundabad Ogres. Gorgeous models, really nice models. I'll tell you who might have some for sale is JT Noble. If you message JT Noble on Facebook and ask him, I know he had some on the trade page just the week before Christmas, whether they got snapped up or not, but it's well worth a shout. If you want to get them, they are really nice models, and they're pretty decent in game as well, to be honest. Low defense, but if you can keep them away from bowfire and let them hit lines, then they're going to do a lot of damage. Joe says, next weekend is New Year Open Day, so I suspect a pre-release there and pre-order the week after. Joe, I'm with you on that, brother. Are you going, Joe? Because if you are and they get released, I need someone to buy me a set and post them to me ASAP, because that would be cool. So let me know if you are. I'd be there'd be a couple of pints in it for you if you can pick me up a set. Definitely want them. If you've not seen them, everyone's seen them, right? I don't need to post a picture of them up. Everyone's seen them. Which is cool. I was going to get I said I was going to buy 1 set and then buy a second set to convert. It was Jay Finnegan who put the doubt in my mind of not getting the 2 sets straight off the bat, just in case they do get released. I don't think they will. I don't think they will. I hope they don't. I hope they don't spend 40 quid, which I think they're going to be 40 quid, on models that then get released. I actually have, let me think, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I've already got 7 Azogs painted in different poses, and 3 in armour. 3 in armour. Some mounted. I've got the originals. I've got the. In fact, I might have more. Joe says, unfortunately not. That's going to the open day, I think. I did consider it, but it's a long way from Devon and I'm working the day after. Yeah, that's pretty grim. I'll have to blackmail somebody else and tempt them with beer. But yeah, hopefully they will get released. That'd be cool. Brad says, okay folks, gotta get back to work, lunchtime is over, and have a happy new year. And you, Brad, it's been great having you, mate, and it's been really nice chatting to you. Have a great new year, and I hope to chat to you very, very soon. Let's have a look. There's not been much sort of what's the word, news for our lovely hobby over the Christmas period. I thought there would be. But there's not been. Let's have a look on here. I did have some pictures of my. Oh, I'm not even going to bother with that because it's freezing up. I did have some pictures of the other stuff that I painted and finished just before Christmas in my hobby vlog, and I was going to get them up, but I can't. It's too slow. Streaming is killing my internet. Plus, I've got my son in the house who's probably on his PlayStation, which isn't great. So I think I'm quite lucky that it's not jumping as it is. Hey Fohammer, how's it going, pal? Good to have you in. It's been a while. I hope you're coming in March. You need to come in March. Have you got your ticket? If you've not got your ticket, why have you not got your ticket? Come on, mate. Play the game. It's really odd doing this and not having my Muppet friend sat next to me so I can bounce off him. But it's fun. I'm enjoying it. We are. I've got 3. You can't see it, but I've got three screens. So I've got this screen. I've got a screen underneath, and then I've got stuff on my phone. Let's have a look at. I'm quite surprised Mr. Finnegan's not come in just to take the mic. Would love to, but can't do the full weekend. You don't have to do the full weekend, my friend. That's the beauty of it. It's as laid back as you want it to be. Twin's birthday, we're going to try and sneak away at some point. Well, that's you know, you can't. I can't knock you for that. Kids come first, family comes first all the time. But if you are able to get away, we'd love to have a drink with your mate and have a lot of fun. There's going to be lots of stuff happening. Not a single hashtag when Jay's not sat beside you. Yeah, I've been quite good, haven't I? I'm on my best behaviour when I'm on my own. But I'm a little bit under the weather as well. I've had this cough and cold thing over the holidays, which has been sort of getting me down a bit. I got it just after the live stream, just before Christmas. I've not been able to shift it, and nearly everyone I know has got it. It's horrible. I don't know what it is. It just sort of knocks the stuffing out of you. But luckily I'm off work. I'm not back in work now till January 7th, is it? Let's have a look. Got my calendar up because I don't know what's going on. So it's going to be, yeah, January 7th is the Monday. That's when I'm back in work. So I've got a nice rare bit of time off work, which is cool. And now Christmas is out of the way. Barring New Year's Eve celebrations, I am going to get these things finished, which I'm supposed to be finishing now whilst I'm chatting to you, but I can't multitask. I just can't do it. Foreman says, Coolio, we'll get myself a ticket sorted then. Yeah, it'd be great to have you there, mate. I really would. And I'm not sure what day your kiddie's birthday is, but we're going to... It starts Friday afternoon, and Friday is basically just a hangout day where people come and chat and play casual games, have a few drinks, and then on the Friday night we're going to do a live panel live stream, which is going to be really cool. That's going to be streamed live, obviously, so people can tune in and ask questions over the internet, and then we'll be taking questions from in the hall as well, and just having a laugh basically. And then Saturday the tournaments start, so it'll be the first day of the 2-day events. There'll be some single day events on the Saturday night. We're going to have some escapades in the evening. There's going to be a quiz and some audience participation stuff, which will be really cool. And just get everyone sort of barriers down and get people chatting and having a laugh, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then on the Sunday is the final day, so all the prizes will be given out, and we'll be saying our goodbyes, and it'll be the sad bit of the weekend, which it always is. It always is. Sunday's always, when it finishes an event, it's horrible. Green Tree, he was pure filth last time. Who? Who's pure filth? I've lost track of where we're at. Yeah, I was. I know what you mean now. I can't help it, mate. It's innuendos, and it's when I'm with it. The thing is, he's quite well behaved on camera, but when me and him are just having a conversation, that's what it's like, generally. We're just taking a mic, which is a lot of fun. So yeah. So have you guys just tuned in to chat to me, or are you painting? What are you painting right now? And what armies? Is anyone doing what I'm doing? Is painting new armies for the new year? So, like I said, I'm painting my Gondor stuff up, which is not necessarily a new army because I used to use it years ago. But then, with the new rules and the new profiles, I suppose it is. That's quite cool. Yes, Fohammer, we're not going to go down that route. That's terrible. I can't believe he did that on YouTube. And it wasn't the only slip up he had either. But yeah, so Gondor, I'm planning on building my Gondor army. What evil army? So what I'm building it. Obviously my Easterlings, but that's the side project. There's not really an evil army at the moment that's jumping out at me that I want to start that I haven't already got. I'm just trying to think. I've got an Isengard army which I've got an Isengard army which is being painted for me at the moment, which I've commissioned. I've got a Corsair army which again is being commissioned, which has been painted for me. So their armies, they're not specifically armies that I want like really wanted to play. They're just armies that you don't see much of you've not seen much of anyway on our channel. Isengard you've seen a bit of on other channels, but that's why I'm not painting them. So I can't think of an evil army. Is there any evil armies that you guys have not seen in Battle Reps, either on the GBHL or on Top Table thus far, that you'd like to see, or ones that you've not seen enough of that you'd like to see more of? Because we can make that happen. We're pretty spoiled in painted armies and stuff for this game, which is cool. For Hummer, yep, I'm doing Army of Thor. Grimhammers are done. Young Balin now in progress. Cool. Both cool armies. Both pretty good armies. All dwarf armies, I always find when I've played against dwarf armies, they're just really frustrating in the sense that you can't kill them. So even like with elves, I play elves quite a bit, or have done quite a bit in the last 12 months. Whenever I can win the fights, but it's just killing the things, it's tough. Joe says, spent the last few days converting and priming a load of Lake Town for the new year. Lake Town are awesome. I have a huge Lake Town army. One of my favourites. Love playing them. And love allying them with Iron Hills or Thranduil's Halls. Like, it's really, really good. Really cool. Joe also says, I'd like to think I'll get another army done later in the year. But I've only managed one and some extra bits this year so far. It's tough if you don't get the time. I think we're all in the same boat, really. Unless your name's Steve Bonar and you can just bang armies out for fun. I've got quite good at painting quick. I've got a lot of armies painted now. Not all of them are painted to the standard that I'd like, but they're painted to a standard that look well on camera, which is the best you can ask for, really, when you're doing YouTube videos. But yeah, I think I'll get. Like I said, I've got more here. I've got Angmar's done. Mordor's got loads of Mordor. Harad army and Mahud army is something that I'd really like to get done. And get on camera, that'd be cool. I've got a lot of time off over Christmas, not back in work till the 14th. Lucky sod. So I've ordered a few materials to try and build some new scenery pieces. What have you got in mind, Green Tree? What are you planning? And I tell you what, Green Tree, you're more than welcome. Do you do commission stuff, Green Tree, or is it just for personal use? Just let me know and I'll continue. G-Pogs, hello from Canada. Currently working on Halls of Thranduil, Palace Guard, Heavy Force, and Dead of Dunharrow. Good to have you, mate. And those are some really strong armies. So the Dead of Dunharrow are really, really good. My GBHL co-host Damien recently won the Throne of Skulls event with Aragorn, King of the Dead, and loads of Army of the Dead, and it is a really strong force. I played it a few times. I think we played it when I streamed the doubles games from Harry's event. So if you look on Top Table videos, you can look back, you can see them back reps, and we backed it up with a load of fight 4 spears, and it makes it really formidable. So you fight 4, defense 8, and you're striking against courage. So if you're up against evil armies, things are easy. I struggled against Iron Hills, as you'll probably see if you do watch them. Really struggled against Iron Hills because they can just charge you anyway. So your terror special rule doesn't really come into play. And the high, well, not high courage, but higher than most courage. And they're 5-4, and they have the ballista. That's tough. So we struggled against them, but everything else we came up against, we've done really well against. So yeah, that's good. And Thranduil's Halls is a really good list as well, especially with the Palace Guard in and around Thranduil's. Fight 6 normal troops is crazy good, and you get a +1 to wound. Again, it's crazy good. Joe says, I can't paint quickly, I've tried it before, it just ends up looking awful and I don't enjoy it. Do you know, with me, Joe, you know, it's shortcuts, it's not, I don't think I paint quick, like, it's shortcuts, so, just trying to see if I've got anything. So, if I just show you this. So, as I pointed out before, I've got these Royal Guard on foot. Now, I've base coated them in the lead belcher spray. And that's what I've done with the riders. And what I do with these, as an example, and I'll do it with anything that's got a lot of armour on it, so silver armour, is lead belcher spray. I then dry brush a highlight on it, and I think on them I used Necron compound and then Stormhold silver, so I did 2 dry brush highlights. I then washed it in Nuln Oil, I then washed it in Agrax, and then I did another highlight of, very light highlight of Stormholds, and that's all your silver armour bits done, finished. And it takes like minutes really. You've got a hairdryer there and you're drying it at every stage. It takes minutes, and if you're doing 6 at a time. I then just went in and picked out all the cloth. So I did all the green, base coated green. I don't even think I washed the cloth. I think I did. Let me see what colour that is. I'm sure it was that Caliban, really dark Caliban green, so it's quite dark. And I just highlighted up 2 highlights. That was the cloth done, and then picked out gold bits, and then it's just like skin and stuff like that. And they were quite quick. And I think it's just finding them shortcuts, and you're there. So with Lake Town, what did I do with my Lake Town? I base coated them in a brown. It might be Mornfang. Or maybe I used the Army Painter brown spray, leather brown or something like that. And again, washed and then highlighted the whole model. So it was all brown, and all the browns are finished because there's a lot of browns on them. And then went in and picked out bits of colour and face and armour and stuff like that. And it was just a lot quicker. It's not gonna win you any awards, but gets the army done to a decent level quick. Where are we? Green Tree, just for personal. Ah, right, okay. Yeah, I was just going to say, if you were doing it for commission stuff, you could have brought some of your stuff if you wanted to come to the weekend in March. You could have brought some of your stuff down and marketed yourself. Would have given you a bit of a space to do that, or even add some of your stuff on some of our boards if you wanted to. Would much rather take my time and enjoy the painting than rush it and hate the outcome. Joe, true. Very true, draw. And I used to be like that. I used to take a lot of time on painting. It's only since having the channel that I tend to need to paint quite quick. Green Tree says, I'm planning on trying some water effects, maybe a small stream to start with, like the one from the Fellowship before they enter Lothlorien. Yeah, that'd be cool. A few of my boards have got water effects on, and I made a lot of mistakes before I nailed it. I think one of my favourite boards that's got water on is the Ammonhem board, and you know the bit in the movie where they're running away from the Uruks, and Sam and Frodo get on the little boat and go off onto the lake, or into the river, should I say. That sort of beached area. So one of my boards is based around that, and then in the one corner is a little beach with the water effects, and I was really happy with that come out, like with the ripples in the water and stuff like that. It looked really cool. And I think making mistakes with water is how you learn the quickest. I mean, you'll know that anyway. You make terrain, you know what it's like. You only learn by making mistakes, and sometimes just watching. One thing I would say is do a test piece first. Don't try and practice on the piece that you're working on, because I made that mistake and it was a shocker. Yeah, it doesn't always work out. I like the showing you on the screen. You've got to sort of get the feel for things. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what you get done, mate. G Pogs, I'll have a look, man. I plan to use my airbrush for Army of the Dead. I will post pictures on the OSBGL group once done. I hate the Iron Hills blister. I feel you there, brother. Yeah, airbrush on Army of the Dead. Yeah, that would work. I think. And I didn't think about using my airbrush on Army of the Dead. I done it all with brush. they worked out quite well. I'm quite happy with how my arm with the dog turned out. I can't remember how I did it now. It was a while ago. It was as the Pelennor set was being released, and I think if you search back in the Facebook, GBHL Facebook group, you'll probably find I think I did a step by step, and they worked out quite well. They did all like the ghostly, ethereal sort of spectre-y type colours, but then I painted the armour on, so they look like ghosts, but then the armour is armour, so it's like silver and golds and stuff like that. And then obviously you got the red cloth on the King of the Dead, which looks quite nice, and it makes things stand out when you do that, rather than the whole model being sort of ethereal, which is good. So yeah, I recommend that. I recommend painting the armour on once you've done the all the bony and ghosty bits. That'll look quite cool. I'm getting mad notifications in the corner of my screen from my Facebook page, so I'm just checking that you guys, it's not from you guys posting things up in the group for me to show off. Yeah. Let's have a look. It's quite rare actually, Green Tree, to get someone who's into terrain as much as I am. Like normally there's not many people who sort of enjoy building terrain, so when I was doing like the videos and stuff, like everyone would comment on my terrain and go, oh, it's great, it looks fantastic, but there was no one really to bounce backwards and forwards. So no doubt in the coming months we will be doing that, because I'll be posting some stuff up. But yeah, send me a PM message. Can you message me on YouTube? Do it on the Top Table channel, Green Tree, as a message, or I'm sure you can do that now in YouTube, right? Private message, and I will let you know where I got the airbow pillars from. G-Pogs, thanks, I'm off to work now. Yep, have a good day in work, mate. Don't work too hard, save some energy for painting. And it was good to have you, thanks for watching, buddy. So yeah, we have got, let's have a look here. There we go. I have got 0 painting done. So I was supposed to chat and paint, and I've got no painting done because I'm not going to be able to concentrate on it. You know what would be nice if I could set up a second camera and show you the stuff that I'm painting on, but I think if I do that it's going to mess it up. But maybe next time I'll do that. I'll have another camera feed and I can show you the stuff close up. Green Tree, nice one. I'll look into PM on YouTube. Yeah, I think you can now. I'm pretty sure you can. I've had a few PMs off Luke's from Luke's APS. I don't know how he did it, but I received them. So yeah, look into it. You should be able to do it. Dean Broadway, good to have you, mate. Smaug for me, decided it was time to treat myself. Hope you had a nice Christmas, mate. It was, and still is. I'm still celebrating. It was my birthday yesterday, so I was out last night. I'm blaming sounding a little bit hoarse and a little bit rough and looking a little bit tired on this cold thing I've had, but it's probably because I was out last night. But yeah, Christmas was great. No hobby whatsoever, just sort of family, friends, eating and drinking, and my diet starts in January because I have ate too much, and I'm going to continue doing it until New Year's Day. I'm not gonna ease up on that. I'm really enjoying myself at the minute. It's been nice to do this though, to be fair, because I've not done anything since the last Top Table live stream, and before that I was so busy at work leading up to Christmas. Before that was the previous live stream, which was 2 weeks before that. So I've done nothing hobby wise. I've not painted a thing. I've not done any YouTube editing or anything like that. So yeah, it's been nice just coming back and doing it today. And I promised that I would do a GBHL video over the holidays, and this just made complete sense to do it. Little live stream while people are at home, chilling, painting, or just kicking back and relaxing. But yeah, it's been great, mate. I hope you had a good one too. And Smaug is an undertaking. I painted mine a while ago, and he's still not finished. I got into the stage where I could use him on camera, and we were planning on doing something with Smaug, and I've not got back to him. Smaug's a funny one. I think a bat rep might be cool. I've played against Smaug a few times. I've not had fun. I think I've played against. In fact, in tournaments I've played him 4 times, and I've killed him twice and lost against him twice. And it's not fun to play against. The model is amazing, it's beautiful, and it was I got it when it was released. I couldn't not really, because I'm a bit weird like that. For gaming purposes, I'm not a fan of the profile. I wouldn't change it. I think it's right for what it is, but I just think there's things that just can't beat it, and it makes it not fun for the person playing the other force. But as a model, it's amazing. If you guys want to see it on camera in a back rep, then let us know and we'll make it happen. What would you put it up against to make it thematic? You know, so it's not just like, you know, Smaug versus Sauron. We'd want something that's sort of feasible. And obviously you wouldn't ally Smaug with anything. Would you want to see it? And what would you want to see it in? What context would you want to see it? Let us know and we'll sort something out. Green Tree says, happy birthday mate, 39. Yeah, 39 I wish. No, I'm a few years past 39 now. I'll have a shave. I'll have a shave, and that might take a couple of years off. Get rid of this. A bit of grey in my beard here. Gives it away. But yeah, I'm still playing with toy soldiers, so it's all good. Green Tree, I'd love to get my hand on Smaug, just for that awesome base. The base is really nice. The Smaug model's really nice. One thing I would say, Dean, is, you know, the little fingers on the end of the wings, the nail things, like claws, whatever you want to call them. I magnetised mine, and that was a godsend, because everybody else I know who's got a Smaug has either lost them because they ping off, because you glue them on, and then if anyone just touches them, they just ping and they go off. And if you use it at an event, or if your hobby room is as messy as mine is, which you can't see on this camera, thank God, you're never going to find them again. So I magnetised mine with little tiny magnets. So when you knock them, they might go sideways, but they stay on. So I'd highly recommend magnetising. It's a little bit fiddly, but if you're used to putting magnets in things, you should be all right. Foehammer, you could put Smaug up against my Erebor. I think Smaug would smash Erebor. I really do. You need something that can. Is it Bash? Is Bash the one that gets his fight value down and stuff? Smaug is beatable if you know how to beat him, and if you've got the patience to do it. If you can get him to burn through his might and what will he's got quite quick, and you've got enough left on the board to cause him problems, then you'll do all right. It's that breathe fire. Breathe fire is horrible. It's just, it can do so much damage so quick to your army, and it's tough. Jay's in. Hey up, how you doing, Jay? I was just saying it's a bit weird not having you alongside me, mate. When they're done, yeah, get them done, mate, and bring them down. We'll give it a go. But I think Smaug would smash Erebor. I really do. Don't pick hammers, get bashed. Yes, they do. That was one of the, because they come out at the same time, didn't they? And I think that was the thing. Like they had the supposedly anti-Smaug weapon. But I think it won't work. Are you lost, Steve? Wrong channel, sausage. No, I'm not lost, mate. I'm not lost. You should have come on. You should have come on this GBHLJ. It's got a nice ring to it. We'd have to take a vote though, and not many people like you, so you might not get voted in. That's the only problem. If it was up to me, mate, I'd have you in. King Bonazai, Dubakar. Hey, King Bonazai, good to have you in, mate. We were just talking about Smaug and Erebor, or what other forces do we think would give Smaug a good run for his money? I think the thing with Smaug and putting him on a bat rep is, I'm not convinced it'd be interesting to watch. Because once you get to that stage, like I say, where he's used his might and he can't call heroic moves, and you pin him down, not much happens other than backing models away from him and then charging them back in and backing them away and charging them back in. Not much more happens, really. But like I say, if people want to see it, I'm sure myself and Jay would not have a problem putting it together and making it happen. We probably would have to use your Erebor force, Foehammer, because I don't have one. It's probably one of the only forces that I don't have of good. So how far off getting it finished are you? That's a question. Him with Dane and Ballista. Yeah, but wouldn't he just see if I was the Smaug player, I'd just make a beeline for the Ballista. Take that out pretty quick. And then you're just mopping up, aren't you? That's the thing. Smaug versus Balrog in amongst those Moray pillars. Yeah, I don't know. Balrog's not got any might though. And I think Smaug could do enough damage in the first 3 or 4 turns to really hurt the Balrog. But you don't know, this is all sort of theoretical, and up to now a lot of stuff that's been theoretical that's sort of a given hasn't been a given in the new rules. Dale Gearin and Windlance. Do you honestly think that could do well, Joe, against Smaug? I think you get 2 good turns with a Windlance, yes. But what are your chances of that? Before he gets to it and destroys it. Do a scenario. That's what we were just talking about, King Bonazai. Lots of Ballistae. Sauron versus Smaug. But that's the thing, Sauron versus Smaug isn't really thematic. I like, and I know Jay likes, if we're filled with a battle rep, we like it to be quite thematic. So you'll rarely see evil versus evil or good versus good, unless there's a little bit of theme in there. But generally it'll be good versus evil. But yeah, not a clue where it's themey. Yeah, it is themey. It's themey. Maybe I might play it. I might just sort of have a little game with Jay and play it out and see what happens. See, I've not really seen many people. I don't think I've actually ever seen the Windlance being used. I've never played against it. I've never used it. I don't know. I mean, it's the weapon that's been designed in the game supposedly to counter Smaug. Has anyone used it against Smaug? Did it do well? Not too sure. 2 good turns with any siege weapon would work. Yeah, but his range is just so. I mean, everything about him is so good. Whoever's controlling the siege weapon has to keep that siege weapon in a position that he either A, can't get to or can't see. The Ballista is good because it doesn't have to have line of sight, just something on the board has to have line of sight, which works. If you could find a spot where he can't get to it or can't see it, then you're onto a good thing. But then you've got to roll well with it. It's 50-50 that you're going to even hit with the Ballistae. And that's not always as much of a given as you think it's going to be, and I know that because I used it. So you only get 1 point of might with your engineer dude. Winged Dragon versus Sauron as sparring partners. Yeah. You could create theme King Bonazai all you like, but that would not be themey in my book because it's Smaug. And Smaug works for Sauron, right? But yeah, I mean, I think that's that would be more a Brawl at Barleyman's type matchup. You'd have to speak to James about getting that on camera. Yeah, I don't think I'd enjoy that. But yeah, but Smaug, I think has anyone used a Windlance? Maybe not against Smaug, but generally, has anyone used a Windlance in game? I can't even remember what the Windlance rules are. What does it do? Let me find the rule book. I think it's in the house actually. Let's have a look. See if I can quickly get it up on here. It doesn't take away half the rules, does it? Oh, that's great, isn't it? It's going to be in there. No. It's in the... No, I've not got it there either. I think my rulebook's in the house, my Hobbit rulebook. Has anyone got it to hand? Jay Finnegan, have you got your Hobbit rulebook to hand? Your army list book? You can send me the rules for the Windlance. Let's see. What time is it now? 7:30. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Right. We have currently got... So we've got 9 people left in the chat. Who's not said hello? Come and say hello, wave. Let us know who's in, let us know who's watching. Don't be shy. Can't just be Joe Greentree and King Bonazai and surely. Who want to chat? Let us know what you got for Christmas. I think, well, I'm hoping come New Year we'll get a nice... Well, we've got the release of... is it Gondor in Flames? I always forget what it's called. It's Gondor in Flames, right? Gondor in Flames. We should get some more releases with that, which would be cool. And maybe we hopefully get some, once that's out of the way, so back end of Feb, start getting some tidbits and sort of sneak peeks of what's coming after that as far as scenario books go. That's what I'm looking forward to in the new year. Let's have a look. Joe Holzman, just a strength 10 siege weapon with superior construction that's manned by Bard or Girion. So you've got to have Bard or Girion. I didn't do Secret Santa. I didn't do it this year. Did you do it? And what did you receive? Were you happy with what you received? It was really cool seeing what people got and how excited people were with their packages in the week before Christmas, which was cool. Green Tree says, anyone here that's never tuned in for the Top Table live chats is missing out. Make sure you watch the next one. Yes, make sure you watch the next one. Green Tree's flying the Top Table flag. Thank you very much, Green Tree. It's a lot more interesting when there's 2 of us rather than me here just talking nonsense to myself. I want them to finish the Hobbit models. Yeah. I think... Hey Dean. It is, mate. I was chatting to you before about Smaug. I hope you got that. But yeah, it is working. So as King Bonazai said, he wants us to finish the Hobbit models. I think we all do. There's lots of stuff. The Warbats and the Catapult Troll are something that's really things that I will buy when they come out. I kind of understand why they are doing what they're doing. So if they did everything for the Hobbit now, and there was nothing left to release for the Hobbit, the hype for the Hobbit might die down a bit because people are like, oh well, I've got everything, nothing else is coming out. Whereas if you just hold a few things back, which is what they're doing, so it's quite intelligent the way that they're doing it, and then they keep jumping backwards and forwards between Hobbit and Lord of the Rings, then it makes complete sense in that way. Because we're talking about it now, we can't wait for these Hobbit models to come out. Yeah, at the minute the hype is Lord of the Rings, so they're already building anticipation for that, which is cool. What I'd really like is some sort of acknowledgement that they're doing the source books. So as we said, is it Gondor in Flames or is that the old book? You know what I mean. Gondor at War, isn't it? That's the new one that's coming out. So they're doing these for Lord of the Rings. I kind of hope that the one after that is in the Hobbit era. So it might be something that happened in the Hobbit era rather than Lord of the Rings, and they keep going backwards and forwards. Because that way it'll keep the hype up for both throughout the year. Which is really good, because that also means then that even if they do finish up all the Hobbit models, and then they release a source book, we can get new profiles and new models still, which would be nice. What they'd have to release for the Hobbit, I don't know, because they've pretty much covered everything, but that's my hopes going forward. I quite enjoyed the Secret Santa, said King Bonazai. Yeah, it was cool. Like I said, it was really nice to see people opening presents, and it's really nice to. It's something that is really cool. And I did think at the time, yeah, I'm going to get involved in that, and I just didn't get around to it. It's nice to keep that community spirit going. This hobby has got one of the best communities for stuff like that, which is really cool. Joe says, Bard gets the Black Arrow rule though. Can be used once a game. Rerolls are failed to hit and in the way rolls, and always counts as a dead on, so it doesn't scatter. And then Joe, does that take away half the wounds? Am I remembering that correctly? Top Tail Gaming in the studio. Sorry, pal, you're in the studio. What are you doing in the studio? You're never in the studio. You're normally just off somewhere playing games and not filming. King Bonazai and Gundabad, Warg Riders and Mounted Champs Champions and Champions on Chariot. Yeah. I don't think we'll see Gundabad Warg Riders. I don't. The reason I don't is because it's been asked so many times, and I was at one of the seminars somewhere, and someone asked it, and it was kind of basically a no. We're not going to do that. That might change. You know, there's a new head at the Middle Earth team. Hopefully we will. You know, the more profiles the better for me. But I don't think we will. Not anytime soon anyway. Champions on Chariot is something that's going to be really cool. Yeah. Will we see champions mounted? I don't know. There's only 4, right? That they need to release. Maybe we might do. I'd like to see them on pony, but I asked that question at the same seminar that I'm talking about. Will we see the hobbits on ponies? And they basically said no. But I'd buy them. I'd buy them all day long. They have done Lord of the Rings for 17 years, so burnout for Hobbit is unlikely. No, I don't mean burnout, but you know what I mean. If they release everything, because they haven't. This is the thing. So you say they've done Lord of the Rings for 17 years, but we're already seeing new stuff now, and we know they're just going to. They've said that they want to delve into the sort of the books more and bring characters out. So we're anticipating that coming out for Lord of the Rings. Whereas everything for the Hobbit, if they all the profiles that we've got, there's not been any sort of hints or anything, or expanding on that as of yet. So if they release everything that we've got profiles for, people might sort of stop buying it. I don't know. I'm not a marketing genius. It's kind of just my point of view. Or the War of the Ring in the North. Yes, the community is great. It is great. The book, not me. Oh, the book's at the studio. Yeah, I guess you're not in the studio, mate. Ooh, I went there. Matthew Prescott. I know everyone here are seasoned players, but would there be a walkthrough guide for Pelennor Fields or new players like myself? Well, it's as if it was scripted, Matthew. If you pop over to the other channel that I present on, which is Top Table Gaming, I'm sure someone will post a link up. Jay Finnegan, that's your job, by the way. On release weekend of the Pelennor Fields box sets, we done all the scenarios from the book, so introducing new rules as we went, and hopefully that will be a bit of help for you. And it starts off really basic and gets a little bit more advanced towards the last scenario. So yeah, and go and check that out and enjoy it. And me and Jay had a lot of fun, which I think comes across on camera filming those. Joe says, yeah, it can only be used with the Windland, so would work the same as any other siege weapon here. That's, yeah, talking about Black Arrow. Yeah, so that's, I mean, yeah. But so when Bard's shooting the Windlands, does he hit on is it a 3+? And he's got his 3 might, and he's re-rolling. So I suppose, yeah. But again then, so as an example, if we film that bat rep, and the unlikely happens that you get 2 good turns in of shooting, and you kill Smaug, it's not much of a bat rep. That's why we've not done it, really. It's all well and good, and we did briefly speak about it before. Oh, we should do this, I've got this, we can do this. I'm just not sure it would be a great bat rep to watch, and I think it'd be quite samey all the way through. There's not really, because you're only going to have Smaug on one side, and we all know what it can do, and what it does turn 1, it pretty much does throughout the game. But like I say, if people want to see it, we'd film it. Or if someone has Smaug and thinks that they could play it more exciting than I'm explaining how I play it, and would like to come down to the studio and film, you're more than welcome. Me or Jay would put something up against it, or even someone else, and we'd just commentate on it while you're playing. That'd be quite interesting. So yeah, so I think we start at 6. We're over an hour and a half in. I think I might call it there, guys. So I hope you all had a fantastic Christmas. I hope you all have a great New Year, and don't forget, if you want a really relaxed, cool, fun weekend of Hobbit Middle-earth goodness, then get over to our event in March. If you PM me privately if you can't find the link, or if you just search on Facebook Top Table Legacy Weekender. You'll find it. Join the page. Like I say, if you can't find it, PM me or Jay, and we'll hook you up. We are holding a 2-day Hobbit event within the Weekender. Loads of cool prizes, standard stuff that you see at one of our events at the Scouring. So you can have all the cool boards, all the cool terrain. It's really relaxed. You get to play the armies that you've wanted to play for ages, and just the cool armies, the themey armies. Yeah, get onto that. That's going to be really, really good. And other than that, hopefully I'll see you at one of the other Northern events going forward. And I hope to see you soon in the live stream over on Top Table. And I hope also to get as much more stuff over on GBHL over here as I can. We'll sort something out, definitely. But thank you for watching. It's been really nice just to sort of get back in the swing of things. And yeah, enjoy your new year. And I will see you all very, very soon.